the roof stacking to the ceiling. Then they want to repent because God's in the building. That's funny. So, while the people are still crying and the people are still dying, have you came to the conclusion that you don't know what you're talking about? And maybe you need to follow along? No? You guys haven't realized all this individualism and your team is still losing? The whole group is still being destroyed. You sure you're not ready to listen? You sure? Well, I feel you should be. You guys really don't have that much room for error. And we're all going to get older and we're all going to die. And that's fine. You know, some of you were worried about a car and a house. I wanted to see the team win. So maybe we're on different plateaus of reality. But I'm also a man. And I know a lot of you are not men. A lot of you are women. Or a lot of you are men who were raised by a woman. So you technically are a woman. I get it. But the fight ain't over till it's over. So let's go. What we're going to do is we're going to listen to a OG from the group The Last Poets. And we're going to listen to what he told us back in the 1980s. 1986, he says this. And then you must admit and submit to the facts that you guys are slaves to the spellcasters. Whether they're black or white, it doesn't matter. You are a slave. And we need to break these mental chains off your fucking head because you are just destroying the youth. Why do I go so hard? Because who the fuck else is going hard for this race, this group, this team of people? No one is. Everybody is leeching and using them because everybody's a bitch ass motherfucker who won't come straight up because they know they'll get their fucking head knocked off. And that goes for women and men. Most of you are pussy. I just want you to know that. I'm serious. Most of the spellcasters black people are dealing with, or so-called black people, are pure pussy. They're pure bitch. That's why they have to go through spell and mental tactics and all these different smoke and mirrors and games. Because if you could grab them, you'd beat the snot out their face, and they know it. So I want everybody to know. We see your pussy asses. We do. We just want you to stop being a pussy and come straight up. That's all. That's all. We don't care about your money anymore. We don't care about your fame, none of that. We want you to stop being a pussy and hiding and bring your bitch ass to the front stage so you can get your ass whooped like you need. That's all we want. That's all we want. But pressing forward. Let's listen to, I believe how you pronounce his name is Soleimani. Soleimani El Hadid. Now, a few people know who that is. A lot of people have said that name before. But let's listen to what let's listen to what the old head was saying. Let's listen to him. Let's see what knowledge he had. And remember, this is in 1986. So this is before Straight Outta Compton. This is before Death Row. This is before Rockefeller. This is before Rough Riders. This is before Cash Money, No Limit. This is before all this shit. So while we're talking about gangster rap, which is bad, maybe like the OGs knew it before even white people brought it to us, even before they started promoting this type of energy. Maybe we had already knew. Let's see.
What the youngsters are rapping about now is nursery rhymes. So we like to deal with the real. You know what I mean? Rhyming is fine, but not nursery rhymes.
Mm-hmm. That's why you say hip-hop is one big ego trip.
Well, yes, it is. It is an ego trip because the guys only be talking about themselves. How much of a lover, how the women love them to death. You know what I mean? How they can throw down, how good they can dance, how bad they are. Nobody better not mess with me, and all of that kind of foolishness that's only encourages violence. You know, and
whoa. So let me get this straight, OG. You're saying a bunch of dumb shit to your people will actually make them dumb? Wow. That's deep as hell because run that back, OG. Say that again, sir.
yes.
That's why you say hip-hop is one big ego trip.
Well, yes, it is. It is an ego trip because the guys only be talking about themselves. How much of a lover, how the women love them to death. You know what I mean? How they can throw down, how good they can dance, how bad they are. Nobody better not mess with me, and all of that kind of foolishness that's only encourages violence. You know, and madness as opposed to encouraging sanity.
Still fucking talking? You niggas still breathing? You fucking roaches.
One more time.
Niggas still fucking talking? You niggas still breathing? You fucking roaches. All right.
Now do people understand why the light show rhymes the way he rhymes? Do you get it now? Does it make sense? Does it make sense to why every time someone comes to my page and says this is whack, or you need to work on this, or you can't rhyme? Anybody who knows me on any of my platforms, I don't give a flying shit. Why? Because I know 99.9% of the fans are fucking nigger slaves, and it has nothing to do with race. More white people show up to these concerts than black people. So once again, I know most of the fans are nigger slaves, perpetuating ignorance on purpose because they're not even a part of this group. So in the long run, who's the one that gets fucked over? The group. Who gets the stereotype? The group. Who's tainted their image? The group. You can talk about all that money that them Jews is giving them rappers. You can talk about people like Jay-Z. Look what Jay-Z has done to the image. Nobody cares that he wasn't a dope fiend. He created them. And he's like, oh, he's a great hustler. No, the fuck he's not. Hustle for black people does not stand for moving fast. Hustle for black people stands for selling drugs. That's what they mean. So what type of fucking hustler is he? He's a poison seller to his own community? Yeah. And I'm supposed to praise this guy because he's such a great businessman. How are you going to fault the white dude who you claim is reaping the benefits off of slave labor and, oh, they're not repaying it or nothing, but Jay-Z's living it off of dope fiend labor and you don't see the resemblance. You don't see the same fucking thing. Kumo D already told you, you can't get rich off killing my people, bro. That doesn't make you righteous. It doesn't make you a good person. So you're the first sellout. You're the worst one. All right. Starting to make sense. Let's keep going.
And progress. And I'm saying that they're telling people, talking about how tough they are and everything is not solving the problem. You understand? If they would address the issues being poverty, the issues being powerlessness, the issues being not having political power, the issues being economically deprived.
Why is he saying that? See how wise my people are. Why is he saying that? He's saying that because it's already proven itself. All of this thug shit that our people have been talking has made blacks worse. So-called black, they're worse off than what they were. But here's the problem. All this technology is around. See, it was one thing for blacks to be doing bad with no technology. But with smartphones and all this different stuff, and all y'all pretty much need is unity for you to still be begging for some money, for you to even need a Jasmine Crockett. says that you guys are not elevating at all. And it makes sense. You're still only 13%. Now we have other groups like, other brothers and sisters out here like, nah, that's a lie. They lied about our numbers. So why don't we own anything? If they're lying about our numbers and we have all these millionaires making 1.1 trillion a year, then why is there not a black farm like that's relevant? Like their stuff is sold in stores. Why do I see a bunch of white people with their faces on agricultural products when they're from a place with no agriculture? How is that? Like all these products should have nothing but an Indian or a Negro on them, saying how they're the ones who cropped and rose and did everything. It's like, why are there white people on these companies? It's like Overett and Baca on the popcorn. Why the fuck would it be Overett and Baca instead of an Indian? It's corn. Because sad to say, this is what the elite Mr. Charlies do. They make the image tainted of everybody else and put theirs to the high extreme. They never told you about white men raping black men, slaves in slavery. They never talked about that. They don't. They don't talk about how white women preferred black slave dick over white men. They don't talk about certain shit, bro. They don't talk about how white men inherited land, white women inherited slaves. And then you look at the public school programming and you wonder why it's a bunch of white women teaching. Now, of course, this is not out the box. I was never in the box. This is showing you what the box is, what's going on. But whatever. We have seen the detriment and the degradation of the black community in America, the so-called black community in America. We've seen it. Everybody's seen it. Many people have addressed it. Black or so-called black people have addressed it. Hispanic people have addressed it. White people have addressed it. Asian people have addressed it. We've seen all walks of life address the problems in the black community, and it's simple. It's unifying and killing each other over ignorance. Everybody says the same thing. Everybody says it. Okay. What was the stone cold factor of the reason that blacks became that way? Communist, Marxist, revolutionaries, which is your Black Panthers, Martin Luther King's. That's where that comes from. And then the music. Y'all want to talk about dirty songs that were played in the 1920s at speakeasy bars and shit where nobody had radio play. Nobody was listening to this shit on the radio. I forgot her name, Betty something. And that's what everybody want to bring. Oh, black people been doing this. No, they never did. They never promoted no fucking trash ass music like that in front of kids. It's just like going down into the basement and listening to dirty records and shit. Ooh, mom, come. Those are 70s kids. Okay, were they in the basement listening to it or were they out in the front room playing it? Exactly. This generation has no respect, and it's not coming off the backbone of the generation before it. Now, we're not blaming generations anymore. We blaming the machine. The machine, courtesy of the small hat. And it makes perfect sense because they know about spellcasting. They put this book all over the world. It wasn't even for everybody. It's just for one group. That's how good at spellcasting small hat is. They took a book that was only for their group, spellcast the whole world. Okay, then they stepped it up. Made Hollywood, right? Spellcast the whole world again. Then they stepped it up. The music industry, right? Spellcast the whole world again. How the fuck you ain't gonna say it's a shoe-in? You can clearly see who's starting this shit, who's teaching this shit, who's moving this shit. White dude in the back, yeah, the masonry. Okay, you can play like that. That's fine. But always remember, it's Jews and Moors that get kicked out of Spain. Oh, don't tell me y'all didn't know that.
Still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing. Fucking roaches.
You didn't know that the small hat is the original Catholicism? You didn't know that? You didn't know when the Jew got enslaved by those Moors, those Muslims, they weren't allowed to practice Judaism? They could practice Catholicism, but they couldn't practice Judaism. And your Catholicism is where your Jesuits come from and all that different stuff. Just peep game. Why were the Jews wanting to marry the 3-year-olds and have sex with them? Why is the Catholic priest molesting little boys?
These niggas niggas still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing. Fucking roaches. All right.
Y'all have no idea who's in control of you, do you? Y'all don't understand the elite that is running the world and running America. This is one of the sickest, disgusting groups of human, period, to ever exist. And guess who's cracking their head open? Yo, shout out to Elon Musk. Yo, give it to him.
You niggas still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing. Fucking roaches.
Y'all ever heard of smoke and mirrors? Remember when Elon did that email shit? It was just to see who's a real person. Remember, because a lot of people hadn't checked their emails in years. All right. Well, Elon just got the okay from the Supreme Court. The Doge thing, the Auden thing, it's good to go. You know, as soon as he got the okay, what was the first thing he went after? You don't know? Why is the first thing Elon wants to do after he gets the okay for the Supreme Court is audit all these politicians that just mysteriously got rich out of nowhere?
Niggas still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing. Fucking roaches.
So he's trying to rob you, exposing where your money went. Then at the same time, he want to throw y'all some money. Democrats mad at that. Then at the same time, now we about to audit all these politicians that just blew up rich. It's not even just Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, all the relics. How y'all get rich all of a sudden out of nowhere? Shit, how AOC get so much money? How did Maxine Waters get so much money? These are good questions. These are good questions. But now back to the good, back to the OG. Let the OG keep talking.
You see what I'm saying? All of these issues, they should be addressing this with their energy.
I don't rap about problems, I don't rap about things that like the ghetto or nothing, because when kids come to my concert, I want life's pressure to be taken off their backs, you know what I'm saying, and not put on their backs. Mm-hmm. That's why they come to my show, they be having fun hard as hell.
That sounds good, LL. It does sound good, but it doesn't. If you're telling them that you want them to come in here to your concert to take the weight off their shoulders for 30 minutes to an hour and to be in a spell and to leave back into the same problems, how are you no different than the church?
Niggas still fucking talking. You niggas still breathing. Fucking roaches.
Isn't rap the first form of music where people start calling themselves gods, lords, all different types of started making you worship them? I'm not going to get too deep into that because there's so many ways to go with that. But what I am going to say is this. What LL's saying is it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all because all this shit is orchestrated anyway. It couldn't work. The shit that you're trying to do where you're like, oh, I want to take the pressure off their life and, just let them have a good time. It don't work like that because that's not morality in reality. You learned that from the Three Little Pigs. What was the first ones doing? Playing all day. Okay, what is more exciting to a kid? Going to work, learning rules and structure, or going to a concert, partying, having fun? Disarraying with information, because remember, you want to take the weight off their shoulders. So you have the ears of the children, not just people, but the children. You have their ears. And instead of putting something in it, you would purposely not. You would tell them you want to take the weight off the shoulders. So you don't want to make them think. You don't want to make them analyze. You just want to tell them useless verbiage. That's wild. Like, bruh, all I want my people to realize is this shit is from 1986. This is the year I was born, cuzzo. He drops this knowledge the year I'm born. Don shit. But
what the youngsters are rapping about now is nursery rhymes. So we like to deal with the real. You know what I mean? Rhyming is fine, but not nursery rhymes.
Mm-hmm. That's why you say hip hop is one big ego trip.
Well, yes, it is. It is an ego trip because the guys only be talking about themselves. How much of a lover, how the women love them to death. You know what I mean? How they can throw down, how good they can dance, how bad they are. Nobody better not mess with me, and all of that kind of foolishness that's only encourages violence, you know, and madness as opposed to encouraging sanity and
ego trip. Instead of being on your ego trip. Okay, look at the condition of the people. All I'm saying is we were told this information so long ago that now it's really scary. Now Charleston White is looking really scary because it's like, why would we even need that if we've already had it? Like the knowledge is already there. We already have it. I don't know, man. It's just something to think on, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen that video before. Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. But something just ain't right, yo. Something like something is not right. It had to be the small heads, bro. Y'all putting a spell because y'all already knew better. And then it just went full rage stupid. And then y'all just got more thuggy and more, you know, bougie, and you lost the message completely. And then it got to the point where the message is corny now. You say you trying to teach people, oh, you ain't a white daddy. You can just destroyed the whole science of speaking to each other. The whole science of speaking to each other is not to be cryptic and put people in spells and rob them and do them wrong. They're supposed to be finding something. We're not here for nothing. We're not. And everything doesn't make sense or adds up for nothing. There's a reason for it. Till the next time. Goes.